Hi and welcome to another episode of Toby's Barbecue Corner. Today we're making the Wagyu of pork Secreto Bruschetta. Now what you need for it and how to do it, I'm going to show you in this episode. And this is what we need for our pork Secreto Bruschetta. Now obviously we need pork Secreto, who would have thought. We need some olive oil, you need some ciabatta, you need some cherry tomatoes, a little bit of garlic, some balsamic reduction, salt, pepper, basil, as well as a little bit of mozzarella. Very quickly, let's get the cutting out of the way. Now I like to start with the garlic. Just chop it up as fine as you can. And then with the tomatoes as well, you know, obviously you can use big tomatoes, you can use those cherry tomatoes, whatever kind of tomato you want or you have handy. It's entirely up to you. And then I just like to cut them in little slices first. And then, there you go, just like that. And then, you know, cut them up a little like this as well. Obviously you want it all over your ciabatta and you don't want those massive chunks of garlic in there. You know, that might be a bit much for anybody. Although I love the taste of garlic. So we're just gonna throw them in. And then with the tomatoes now, if you have those big tomatoes, I would suggest that you take you know, the seeds and anything that's in there out of it. But I think for these small ones, you just chop them up just like that, you know, that will do the trick. And then we're gonna throw that in together. So, gonna finish all of that up now, and then we're going to take care of our basil. Right, the tomatoes and the garlic is cut up, and now onto the basil. And I find it's the easiest if you create those kind of like little packages and you roll it up a little bit. And then you just chop it up. So let me just show you this real quick. So you make like a little package, and then you can just chop away with a lovely sharp knife. And then all you need to do is sprinkle it across and throw it in. Right, all cut up. So a little bit of salt. Now I like to use this Mediterranean herb salt for it because I think it just adds another level of flavor to it. Obviously, some black pepper, and then lastly some good olive oil to top all of this off. Now remember, you can always add, you can never take out. So go easy initially, let that soak a little bit, and then we're going to give it a taste test in about an hour or so. Now that our bruschetta topping is marinating, let's take care of our ciabatta. So what you want to do is you want to cut it in slices. Now this is a fresh one. Obviously you can use a frozen one as well. You can use one of those that you can you know, just finish baking in the oven. It doesn't really make a difference, but I love these fresh ones. And so we're going to try to slice them in equally thick slices. Just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place them into one of these consist forms. Spread them all out. Just like that. And then we're going to soak them in olive oil, so when they get on the barbecue that they get a lovely golden brown color. And obviously we're going to soak them from both sides because we want to have that crust on both sides when you bite into them. So I'll just make sure, you know, you spread it about a little bit, but obviously that's the good part about this form. Anything that gets soaked up or that goes through and ends up in the bottom will get soaked up in that lovely ciabatta anyways. But you know, obviously help it along a little bit, it won't mind, so to speak. There we go, pretty much done. Obviously the end pieces we don't do from the other side. And then we do the same thing again. And then the last step in the prep process is just to season our Secreto with a little bit of salt. And then we just rest it to the side until we need it. Now the barbecue is heating up and we're going to take care of our ciabatta first. The barbecue is heating up and we're going to be using my stainless steel grate. So what we're going to do, very simple, we're just going to throw on our ciabatta and give it a bit of a sear from both sides. And you can actually do that once it's whilst it's still heating up, simply because you don't obviously want to burn it, but you want to make sure, you know, you get a bit of a sear on both sides. And just a couple of seconds later, make sure that you check, because as I said, you want them to get a bit of color, but you don't want to burn them. So flip them and make sure you stay with them. The ciabatta is done, and now onto our Secreto. Now because Secreto is very thin, we just give it a quick sear from both sides, and not like any other pork, you know, where you really have to watch the internal temperature. Because it's so thin, it will be cooked very quickly, and obviously you don't want to overcook it. Time to flip it. The Secreto has gotten some great color, and what we're going to do now is we're going to set it on the top, because similar like steaks, we can actually eat it at a core temperature of about 55 degrees, 56 degrees, whichever you prefer. So we're going to let that sit there until it reaches its eternal temperature. Right, there you go guys. The meat is done, it's gotten some great color. We're now going to let that rest, and whilst it's resting, we're going to take care of our ciabatta. Now the plan is you take one of those little ciabatta balls, maybe even two, you know, and you just kind of like spread it a little bit all over just like that. Then we're going to add, now where's the opening? Here we go. A little bit of balsamic reduction over it. We're going to add some of that lovely marinated topping. Just like that. Wonderful. I'll just clean that up for you. There we go. Now obviously you could eat this now by itself, but let's take one of our Secreto pieces and look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Cut like 2 slices off. Put some basil on the top. A little bit of salt and a little bit of black pepper. And there we go guys, this is our pork Secreto bruschetta, and we're gonna dig in now. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video about the pork secreto bruschetta. That was super delicious. And as I said guys, you can cook it, obviously you can cook it all the way through, but if you want to have a little bit of juiciness in it, simply because it is a fairly thin piece of meat, try to go for the, 55, 56 degrees, similar to a beef steak, and that will work out perfectly fine. Now, if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate a comment and a thumbs up. Please head over to that subscribe button for more great videos to come, and I hope to see you soon again at Toby's Barbecue Corner.